How to handle a long-term relationship in a household or workplace. Lecture 1276. Just because you have lived together in a house for 10 years does not automatically mean you are like family. Being family is about more than just cohabitation. It is about sharing the same ideology. People become family when their beliefs and values align. For example, you may think your child is your family simply because you live together. But if your values begin to diverge, the familial bond weakens. When children are young, they follow their parents' beliefs, which keeps the family united. However, if there is a fundamental ideological difference later in life, the relationship starts to change. Living under the same roof does not make someone family. A family is a group of people who align in thought, purpose, and mutual support. We need to change our perception of what it means to be a family. While those who share meals together can be called household members or companions, true family members are those who share a common purpose and support each other. If this alignment is lost, people who were once close can turn into adversaries, even if they still live together. When should you consider change? If you have lived together for 3 years or more, your relationship should naturally evolve into a familial bond. The first 3 years are a period of effort and adjustment. By the 4th or 5th year, if there is still an underlying discord preventing you from becoming a true family, it may be time to make a change. If you find that after years of effort, you still cannot find harmony, it is wise to consider replacing that relationship with one that is more compatible. If you believe in a higher power, you can turn to your faith, whether Christianity, Buddhism, Taoism, or another religion, and ask for guidance. In spiritual terms, if you have tried but cannot manage the relationship, you can pray for the situation to be resolved. A higher power may then help realign your path by bringing someone more compatible into your life. The role of spirituality in relationships. Human beings do not live alone. They coexist with unseen forces. When we pass away, we transition into another form of existence. Some become ancestral spirits, and others take different roles in the spiritual world. Right now, as living beings, we are human spirits interacting with the spiritual realm. If after 3 years you find that a relationship is not working, it is wise to move on rather than stubbornly holding on. If you try too hard to make something work when it is fundamentally misaligned, you may end up suffering more in the long run. In some cases, staying in an unhealthy relationship leads to a painful and costly departure later. It is always better to recognize the signs early and make the right decision. How to let go with wisdom. Letting go of someone does not mean you have failed or that the other person is at fault. Instead, recognize that you were unable to guide or manage the relationship successfully. When it is time for someone to leave, do not resist. Let them go. If possible, offer a small farewell gift or a kind gesture. This prevents negative energy from lingering and ensures that the separation happens amicably. Do not try to hold on to those who are meant to leave. If you resist their departure, it will eventually cost you more, whether in emotional, financial, or mental terms. When people leave on good terms, they will remember you positively and may even help you in unexpected ways in the future. Final advice. Never blame others for a relationship not working out. When someone leaves your life, instead of holding resentment, reflect on how you could have handled things differently. Wish them well and, if possible, provide some support as they transition. This approach will bring you peace and ensure that positive energy returns to you in the future. Understanding and accepting these truths will help you navigate relationships with wisdom and clarity. Long-term relationships. Understanding family beyond blood ties. Many people think that living together for a long time, whether in a home or workplace, automatically makes them like family. However, true family is not just about living together. It's about sharing the same values, beliefs, and supporting each other. 1. Family is based on shared ideals, not just time. 1. Just because you live in the same house for 10 years does not mean you are family. 2. Family members share similar beliefs and support each other. 3. Even biological family members can grow apart if their values are different. 2. When should you reevaluate a relationship? 1. If after 3 years of effort, you still feel disconnected, it may be time to reconsider the relationship. 2. Holding on to a relationship that is not working can lead to unnecessary suffering. 3. If needed, consider moving on and creating space for more compatible relationships. 3. How to let go in a healthy way. 1. Do not feel guilty if a relationship doesn't work out. 1. It does not mean failure. 2. If someone needs to leave, let them go peacefully. 3. If possible, part on good terms by offering kindness or support. 4. Holding on to an incompatible relationship can create negativity and long-term struggles. 4. The role of spirituality. 1. If you believe in a higher power, you can seek guidance through prayer or reflection. 2. Spiritual forces can help align your life with people who are better suited for you. 5. Final advice. 1. Never blame others when relationships don't work out. 1. Instead, reflect on what you can learn. 2. Wish those who leave well and focus on positive changes in your own life. 3. A wise and peaceful departure will bring positive energy back to you in the future. Letting go of people who are not aligned with your values is not a loss. It is making space for better connections that will support your growth. My new story, True Family. In an old alley in Seoul, in a worn-out hanok house, Seongjun lived with his father. His father was a quiet man, and though the two cared for each other deeply, they rarely expressed it in words. But there was another person who had lived with them for a long time, Chang-sik. He wasn't related by blood, yet he had been part of their household for over 10 years, like an uncle to Seongjun. As a child, Seongjun often wondered, "We're not really family, so why does my father live with Uncle Chang-sik?" But he never got a clear answer. He only knew that his father and Chang-sik relied on each other in a way that went beyond words. The beginning of farewell. One day, Chang-sik announced that he was leaving. "I think it's time for me to go," he said quietly over dinner. Seongjun put down his chopsticks and looked at his father, who remained silent. "Suddenly?" "It's not sudden. I just feel like it's the right time." Chang-sik often gazed into the distance as if there was someone he missed, someone he had never forgotten. He had lived in their house for years, but it seemed he had always been destined to leave. "Hyungnim, thank you," Chang-sik said to Seongjun's father. For a long moment, his father said nothing. Then, with a deep sigh, he finally spoke. "If you feel you must leave, I won't stop you. But when you go, make sure you walk a good path." Chang-sik smiled, but there was a sadness in his eyes, a hidden truth. On the day Chang-sik left, Seongjun's father called him over. "You've always been curious, haven't you? Why Chang-sik lived with us?" Seongjun nodded. "Chang-sik was like a younger brother to me. We weren't connected by blood, but we shared the same beliefs and walked the same path." His father's voice was calm as he recalled the past. Chang-sik had a difficult life. He was abandoned by his family and wandered alone. I couldn't just ignore him. So we decided to support each other, to protect one another as brothers. Not by blood, but by choice. Seongjun listened in silence. Being family isn't just about sharing a house or being related by blood. It's about having the same values and standing by each other when it matters. Those words sank deep into his heart. The last letter. About a month after Chang-sik left, Seongjun received a letter. "Seongjun, how have you been? I've started a new life in a new place. I always knew I had to leave someday, but saying goodbye wasn't easy. Your father is one of the strongest people I know. His strength protected me and helped me survive. Now it's my turn to find my own path. We may not be related by blood, but the time I spent with your family is the most precious part of my life. Let's meet again someday. Uncle Chang-sik." As Seongjun finished reading, he looked up at the sky. His father was right. Family wasn't just about living together. It was about understanding, supporting, and protecting one another. Even though Chang-sik had left, he would always be family.